being an entrepreneur is a blessing, but for most people, it can be a curse. I'm Alex Otto. I help people start and scale their car rental businesses. I'm going to tell you today what life is actually like as an entrepreneur. If you go on social media, Instagram, TikTok, a lot of people think entrepreneur is just laptop lifestyle, making money online, traveling the world. But for the most part, that's actually not true, right? That is actually a minor, right? A small percentage of what actually happens in your life as an entrepreneur. Your day-to-day activities are very, very stressful. Okay, you're pretty much responsible for every single thing in your business, every single thing in your life. Now, this is a blessing for people that are all about taking responsibility, right? So for people that are fully self-accountable, fully self-responsible, right, and have insane work ethic, because you're gonna reap a lot of benefits from being that type of person. However, most people are just not that way, and this is just the truth, right? That's a reason why most people hold jobs, right? They're stable, they're less risk, even though in today's economy that's not true, but they're looked as less risk, right? And being an entrepreneur is looked as extremely risky, and it is extremely risky, right? You're playing a very high risk, high reward game. It's almost like gambling, right? But it's really controlled, informed gambling, right? So for that is what life is like as an entrepreneur. And so if you're not the type of person that is able to take risk, right, that is able to um, go weeks, sometimes months, without seeing any results while doing all of the work, because results are always the lagging indicator. So the results come after the work, which is funny. Um, so it's not like a job where you do work, you work for 2 weeks and you get a paycheck. It's not true for us as an entrepreneur. Sometimes you can work for months and get nothing. Other times you can do very little work and get paid a lot. And but that's the minor, right? That doesn't happen as often. So your day-to-day responsibilities, you're going to be in charge of your business, your systems. You're going to be in charge of marketing, sales. You're going to be in charge of operations. You're going to be in charge of managing your team, right? So for me, my life as an entrepreneur, every single day, I wake up, I get up, I go and check on my cars. Okay, I have to make sure that one, I have cars available for people to rent, because that's how I make money, right? If there are no cars available, I ain't getting paid that day. So think about that. So I got to make sure cars are available. So whether it's going out to buy the car, whether it's going to the mechanic shop to make sure that if I have a car in the shop, it's ready to go today. Whether it's preparing my cars for rentals, right? Or whether it's talking to people who already have cars and getting those cars to me so that I can rent them out. All right. So that's the very first thing I do in my day. Very first thing, which car can I get? Which car? How can I get paid from rentals today? Right. Um. Once that's done, then my second half of the day, right? I spend the second half of the day with my team. So we're talking about operations. Okay, how can we improve efficiency? How can we make sure that um, our customers, our current customers, right, are extending, they're paying us, right? They're extending the rentals. And how do we make sure that we're providing the best customer service for them? And then how do we make sure that we're capturing all the new customers, all the new leads that are reaching out to us, whether it's Facebook Marketplace, whether they're calling us, whether they're hitting us up on social media. How do we capture that information so that we can reach out to them as soon as we have cars available, right? So this is all gonna be on you, on me as an entrepreneur, to make sure that I spearhead that. I have the right information and strategies to get myself and my team over that line. And then obviously you have to pay your team, right? So you're going to be in charge of paying other people. You have to make sure your systems are working. So if your Facebook post gets taken down, it's your responsibility to make sure that there's post up, because if you don't have post up and people aren't reaching out to you, you're not getting paid. um, Social media, you make sure that your social media content is getting posted. People are DMing you, right? You're reaching out to people. A lot of people don't actually do this, right? So this is the boring part of the business, where you have to reach out to people. You're gonna have to read and talk to people every single day, right? People, you don't want to do that. It's gonna be very hard to make money. All right, and then comes content. So making content, because content is how you get views, attention. You get paid off attention, right? So whether you're getting views to get people to bring you cars, whether you're getting views to get people to coach people, whatever you want to do your strategy to make money, right? And then at the end of the day, you spend the day talking to your partners, talking to renters, right? Making sure that everything is scheduled properly, making sure that you're preparing for the next day. So every single detail of the day to day is on you as the entrepreneur, and that's what life is actually like on a day to day basis. Now, obviously, most of this stuff you don't have to be in person to do it, right? Communication, it's 80% communication. You can communicate over the phone, over text, FaceTime, whatever. There are day-to-day activities you have to do in person, meeting customers. I meet my customers in person. Eventually, I hire a runner. Runners can meet my customers in person. I no longer have to be in person. So that things can change like that very, very quickly. Okay. So the point I'm making is that's what life is like as an entrepreneur. Now, the other stuff, the good stuff, the traveling, right? The laptop lifestyle, that's in there too. That comes in there too, right? That comes on the back end with the results. So once you're making the money, you have sustainable and consistent systems and strategies, right? You have a team that understands exactly what to do in almost every scenario where they don't really need you 90% of the time, right? Because they know what to do. Then you can start taking trips. You can start going on vacation. You're getting paid to be in Cancun. You're getting paid to be in, I don't know, Korea, Malaysia, the Caribbean, whatever. That is real. That you will get those benefits. Those benefits come on the back end behind all the work. So if you're enjoying this video, make sure you smash the like button. Definitely smash the like button so that any aspiring entrepreneurs will understand what life is actually like. So don't let social media always fool you. It's not 90% laptop lifestyle. The cars, everything, all of those come, right? It comes after the work, right? But the upside is very, very high as an entrepreneur, right? Compared to an employee, right? The upside is very, very high. You do the work, you have a lot of potential to boom, right? On the upside, and there is literally no cap on the upside. So the main thing, the most difficult part is always starting. Okay, I remember when I was starting, that was the most difficult part. That's why I now help people start and scale their car rental business, because that is the most difficult part. Okay, I'm helping you with the most difficult part. But once you start and you have momentum, momentum is a game changer. Momentum is life changing. People, you're doing business, you're getting customers. More customers come in once you start doing good business and getting customers, because they start referring other people. You get your first JV partner, he starts making money, he starts telling other people, hey man, this guy actually makes me money. Now you get all these people hitting you up, which is where I am right now, trying to give you cards all the time. And now you're just flying through the roof. Okay, you're just flying through the roof. So that's what it's actually like. It is a very beautiful thing. It is very difficult at the very beginning, and when you're in the middle trying to go to the next level and scale, it gets a little bit difficult there. But in between, you have momentum, right? And momentum is a beautiful thing. So if you like this video, make sure you check out my other videos on the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you're serious about starting and scaling your car rental business, hit the link in my bio and join my free Facebook community.